Hello, everybody. This is Fernando for the latest Godzilla News of the Day podcast. Another daily entry here, this time from the New York Post, again deriving from the original Yahoo feed. This story, though, made me a little angry after I was reading this information, and I'm sure it'll make you angry too, only because to this very day, even after several decades, it seems like this is involving a case where someone got away with the most heinous crime of all, and in this case involving murder. Only because it showcases if you have money, if you have time, patience, expensive lawyers, it seems like you can use the court system to get away with a lot of things. A lot like, let's say, the infamous O.J. Simpson trial, and then also the Casey Anthony trial as well. But in this case, it has to do with finally the courts deciding in some way, some resolution, that a long presumably deceased person has now been officially declared dead. In this case, Kathie Durst, who was the wife of Robert Durst. She went missing over 35 years ago, and during that time period, ever since then, it's been long presumed that in his case, Robert Durst was the killer. He was the one that actually murdered her, but a court later was not able to place him, or something involving, like there wasn't enough evidence to place him as the person that did this, so he has never been officially declared as the person committing the crime for her disappearance. But in this case, and I'll include the link for it below from the New York Post, just this past week, or just the other day, a Manhattan judge finally declared Kathie Durst as being officially dead. You have to go back in time to January 31st, 1982, no less. And it was during that period that was the last known sighting of her. And in that case, she was last seen, according to Robert Durst, by him as he was dropping her off at some train station. This is his version of the story. He stated that they had some kind of fight, and whenever that fight turned, I guess, nuclear, whatever was the case, he decided to drop her off at a train station so that she could go somewhere. I think it was either back to her school, because she was at that time a 29-year-old medical student, or back to see her family. And then that's when he last saw her. Again, that's his version of the stuff. But others that were around her during that same time period stated that they kind of saw her a little bit disheveled. It seemed like she was out of the ordinary. And the one other person that saw her stated that she looked dressed down. Normally, she was always dressed to the hilt, like very, very promptly dressed. But in this case, when she saw her, it was something where it was just the complete opposite. And then there was someone, I believe it was the bellman who lived at the who worked at the location that she lived at, and in turn that Robert Durst lived at as well, that claimed to have seen her as well, but it was just big hurry. Like, in other words, they only saw the backside of her, didn't quite tell if that was truly her or not. Either way, though, those seem to remain the last other people that have seen her after her disappearance. No known whereabouts of her body, no known whereabouts of where she is to this day. I mean, it is just as if she disappeared completely off the face of the earth. And in a sick twist of irony, her family had been trying for the longest time to declare her as being dead. Obviously, after a certain point, from the beginning, they were hoping that she would be alive, that she would, even after so many years, there's a chance that maybe she's out there. But what happened was, even after like a decade, 2 decades, move on to 3 decades, no doubt they realized that it's too late. Like, wherever she's at, she most is likely dead. So they have been trying to get the courts to officially declare her dead. That way, they can in turn try to hit Robert Durst where it hurts him the most, money. Because this guy, Robert Durst, I'm not going to go over all his history. There's lots of it to it, and even I haven't had a chance to review all of it. But he seems to have been from a family involving large real estate. I mean, they're the family that to give you an idea, helped build one of the World Trade Towers. I mean, that's how prominent they have. He's in money. I mean, he's a multi millionaire. His family eventually, though, disowned him because of the scandals tied to him. I mean, here's someone that, besides being directly, I mean, not directly, but pretty much presumed to be the cause of, in this case, Kathie Durst's disappearance. He has also been convicted of killing someone else, another woman, and then killing another man. But in both cases, it seems like he used the courts again to get away free, not have to face any jail. Right now, though, he's back in jail. I think it had to do with some kind of gun law that he has that he broke, and the reappearance of one of the cases from the other woman that he killed. Either way, though, there's a documentary out there that aired on HBO that pinpointed to him, saying, I guess offhand in some mic, not realizing that it was on, but he was almost confessing to his crimes, and that kind of reopened the cases. But yes, that's just a brief history of this guy Robert Durst. But yes, otherwise, he was the one that was last known to have seen, quote unquote, Kathie Durst, the one most presumed to have caused her death. The family of him finally are trying to hit him where it hurts again, involving money, because now that she has been declared dead, they are going to file a massive lawsuit against him, because they are the ones that are trying to make sure that he is found criminally guilty somewhere. It almost reminded me of the O.J. Simpson case right off the bat, because obviously he was found not guilty in criminal court, but then the family sued him. The family of, I believe his last name was Goldman, sued him in civil court, and they won. They won by a landslide, and they were owed millions and millions of dollars, except for the fact that OJ moved to Florida, where the stuff protected him, that state protected him from lawsuits of the similar kind. So in this case, it seems like that's what the family's going to do. Now that they have the avenue available, they're going to try to get at this Robert Durst guy by filing and using proof of the death to go into some kind of maybe civil court, and then try to see what they can do for him. Who knows how this is going to affect something later on with his real case, his own case that he's on trial for, but it'll be interesting to see what the updates are later on. He may even just be in jail whenever, let's say, they file that lawsuit and end up winning. So if whatever happens afterward, I'll try to see if I can post an update for that too. But that's it. Check out the link when you have a chance. It's crazy, but 35 years later, after someone is missing, they are officially declared dead. And everything again still points to him being the killer, except for any kind of courts actually saying 100% that he was the person that killed her outright. But if that changes later on in court, then I'll try to see if I can update that here too. So, all right, everybody. Thanks again as always. Take care.